Welcome once again to Coach Jason Reuter Show here on the Bear Network, BCHS.TV. You can view all our productions on YouTube. Just simply search for BCHS.TV. Subscribe to it as well. It's free of charge, and you can enjoy all of our programs, and you'll be notified anytime a program is aired if you subscribe to that. I'd like to welcome Coach Reuter and a couple of young ladies. When I say young, I mean young ladies, sophomores that you brought along. So let you introduce them first, Coach.
Certainly. I've got Avery Brewer here to my immediate left, and I've got Harmony Ware next to her. And these are two sophomores that are starting for us. And it doesn't matter if they're starting or not. They're fine young ladies and good basketball players. And proud to be here with them.
Well, glad to have them here. I've seen them play every game this year, I think, and they came through for it. And Coach, one of the things I've noticed this year, almost every game, you've got 4 starters in double figures. That's got to be tough for the other team to defend with something that it just makes it hard for the other team, and it helps you to spread that wealth around there, and it works out really good.
Yes, I'm very pleased with having 4 girls averaging double digits, 2 of them right here, and it makes us a hard scout. A lot of times they can tell you we go into ball games that we know who the other team's main score is, or 2, and then the other girls kind of are just kind of blend in, and very rarely do you have 4 girls. Now, we've only played 5 games, so I don't want them to hang their head when we play Friday night. One of them doesn't score double digits, which either one of these girls could lead us in scoring. And it's every game's different, and but right now the balance is very good, and they're playing very unselfish basketball, which is a lot of fun to coach when you got girls that everybody's got goals and egos, but I think what I'm seeing is a bunch of girls that want to win, whether they score 6, 8, whether Harmony scores 6, Avery scores 12, or switch the rows. I don't think they care as long as we win.
Well, and don't want to leave out the 5th starter who's not double digits, Sloan Carter, but brother, she's doing her thing as point guard and one of your senior leaders there, and that's exactly what you need out of her. And she can put some points in there too for us sometimes, but her main goal, I guess I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, is to control the team, get the flow of the play call and all that, and make sure everybody's in the right position, and still be the quarterback out there on the floor.
Yeah, she's averaging 6 points a game, but she's handling the ball, I don't know, 50% of the time in her offense. And Sloan, we played 5 games. Sloan's got 5 turnovers, so that's 1 a game. I can live with that.
Yeah.
You've heard me brag on her many times. She's not here this morning, but everybody has different roles. Our team is made up of role players, really. And we all have roles. I have a role. These 2 girls have a role. Our assistant coaches have a role. Everybody has a role. So that's something that I'm pleased with so far, is people accepting their role. There's girls that we're not going to talk a whole lot about here today, but they may be coming in off the bench, or they may not be coming in at all. We're not 5-0 without all these girls.
Right.
So we got to keep that in mind. That this program it's always been, it's not about one person, 2 people. This program is bigger than any one individual.
Yeah, it always will be. Let's talk to these players here. We've got a chance here. Harmony, you're a sophomore. Freshman, you came played a lot last year as a freshman, an awful lot. Mm-hmm. What are you needing to do? What are you wanting to do to make your play better for the team? The value of the team is. There's some say, well, I wish I could do this better, or that you're. I know you're throwing up some outside shots there the other night too. In our last game, Saturday, I guess. But what, in your mind, what would you like to be better at, besides another 5 or 6 inches taller?
Probably just more communicating more, and communicating on offense and defense. I don't know, just probably communicating and just.
Well, that's a huge part, especially in basketball. You're out there, you're close together, and you're trying to make sure everybody's doing the thing. Avery, I'm going to start wearing white headband like you wear all the time. I've seen that ever since you played middle school ball, I guess. But same question to you, I guess. What would you? You lit it up with 5 3-pointers one game. I guess that was Friday's game, and then Saturday had a good game again. Anything you'd like to improve your game on?
Yes, I think just limit the turnovers for sure. Just try to get those down.
Yeah. Well, Coach, are you satisfied? Let me ask you this. We had a preseason production. Since then, you played 5 games. Had the Thanksgiving break last week, so didn't have a game there, but you've won all 5 of those games. I was looked it up, you were giving up only 34 points a game, and I know one of your goals is defense, defense, defense. I know you hammer that home all the time. Averaging almost 70 points per game, that's about a 35-point margin of victory. You can't complain about that. Did the start, let me ask you this way, what letter grade would you give your team through the first 5 games? If you were assigned A, B, C, D, I know you're not going to give an F or a D, but because there's always room for improvement. You're saying if we just improve just a D.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've not changed very much in the last few years. We just, as long as we're going, you're not staying even. Either getting better or you're getting worse. And, someone said a comment after about 3 games that this team was playing at tournament level right now. And
You hope not, don't you?
well, they don't know what I know. They may think they know because I think we beat some people, maybe a little more than people. Baylor had a couple starters out. Webb shot 66%. These girls know. I'm honest with them. Look, we're not a 66% shooting team.
Right.
No one is. But that's why you have to play defense. You're right. And we're bringing up our opponents right now, but it's all relevant to who you played. You've heard me say before, if someone tells me the record, I want to see who they played.
Yeah.
It's all relevant. There's teams out here in the state that we can play. It's going to be a toss-up. And we just play them one at a time, and we're looking forward to this Friday night. But I would give my team, right now they're 5-0. They're playing really hard. I'm going to give them an A right now, knowing that we're going to get better.
Yeah.
There's little nuances of the game, how you defend out of bounds plays, communicating, those things that we've got to get just a little better every day. Like today, I already have a practice plan made out that we're going to touch on a couple of things that I saw this weekend that we were not very good at. One's a master of everything.
Right.
But one thing I want us to be a master at is man-to-man defense.
Well, you've always said wins championships. Offense is what a lot of fans come for. Boy, defense is how you win them there. Avery and Harmon, I'll ask you both this. We had a tough group of teams in here for our Thanksgiving event. Especially, we had 4 teams come in unbeaten. York was unbeaten, Green was unbeaten, Coffee was unbeaten, we were unbeaten, and we're still unbeaten, and Coffee's still unbeaten. And Coffee looks like, I'm seeing Herb will be the team to beat in the district. It's good to have them in here playing so we could see them, in person. And I think it was one of the, I'm going to ask Coach here in a minute, but how'd you girls feel about the tournament? Is the team playing together, chemistry good right now and all that?
Yes.
I think our team has really good chemistry right now.
Yes.
Well, it seems to, and I think that shows the way you play out there. And we have a lot of kids getting to play because we're winning some games with some pretty good margin and all that. That just keeps everybody happy. Coach, about that, it wasn't really a tournament, it was a classic. We had one more team we could have a tournament with. I think that's some of the strongest, one of the strongest ones we've had in many, many years. And I think, I don't know if anybody in the state had anything that strong, in a group together in one gym for 2 days, back to back.
Yeah, we want to thank Erie Insurance for sponsoring this classic. They're a first-time sponsor, and it's been a tournament, and now it's a classic. Instead of playing 3 games, it's just 2 days, and you already predetermined who you're going to play. And I don't know. I looked at the scoreboard on the internet there. I don't know that there was a better classic in the state of Tennessee than the one we had right here. We seem to be in everybody's top 5 or 6. Coffee County's in everybody's top 5 or 6. Greenville is in AAA, their top 5 AAA team. York is state runner-up, and they've got they're planning on winning a state championship in AA. McMinn Central, we know what kind of proud program they got. McMinn County, who upset Coffee on their own floor last year. Then you had Hamilton Heights. So, I don't know that. I can't swear on this, but I don't think I'd put that classic up against anyone that I saw.
I agree with you there. And another good thing about it, too, was you had 2 future foes, district foe, McMinn County and McMinn Central. We're going to play home and home, I think, both those guys later in the season. It's good to get them in here to see them. Are we playing Central this year?
Yeah, they're not in our district, but we play them home and away. McMinn County. It's tough over the holidays. When you get everybody in there was some decent crowds. I thought some people came out. It's just tough. You're not going to get any student body much because they're all out of school and they're traveling. But we love to get McMinn County in because they bring a few fans and they're next door. And, you know, it's just, I thought it was a good showing and pretty high level of high school girls basketball.
And I think their coaches were glad to see it too, because they could say, okay, we're going to play Bradley in the district, McMinn County, then McMinn Central.
Certainly.
That way. And girls, I know you played with, I had a ton of Bearettes come back Friday and Saturday. I mean, it was crazy. It's just like having a union of the teams from a year or two. Even Hannah Lombard, who's been out since 2019. Everybody knows her for the game-winning three-pointer there. She was here. Skylar Falcon came back. Ryan Howard was here. She's in from Midley. Came in Tuesday night and all that. So Alexis Barnes was here the other night. So, Coach, that's got to mean something to you as a head coach. Those girls liked it enough to want to come back and revisit and see the players they played with, coach they coached under, things like that. So that's got to.
And we talked about in the locker room, right? In between the two games, what we have in there, 12, 14 girls.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple didn't even come in. You know, my own daughters didn't even come in the locker room. What does that say about you? But Rebecca was out of town and Amelia was working. She was here one night, Tuesday night. But we probably had 14 or 15 ex-Bearettes. And of course, they've all been in the last 6, 7 years. But yeah, so I said that. When you see girls coming back, it makes me proud. People don't want to come back to places they don't like. They have a lot of fond memories. I asked Hallie Hughes, put her on the spot. If you had one thing to do over, what would you do different? She said, what, Avery, you remember?
She said work a little harder.
Said she'd have worked a little harder.
A little harder.
And I know that.
There you go, girl.
Because these girls, I'm this old ball coach, but it wasn't that long ago. I remember what it's like to be a player. Never have I had a kid come back. Never. And said, boy, I wish I had not worked so hard. It's always, I wish I'd gave a little more. I wish I'd gave a little more in high school. I think we all, if you're a competitor, you don't want it to ever end. And when it does end, what could I have done? And if you're a worker, you just think, I could have worked harder. Mm-hmm. And that's, look, these two girls right next to me, they work really, really hard. They put the extra time in, and they're not the only ones. And we'll have other people's on this show. But I will say right here, these two girls, I'm looking forward. You know, they're just sophomores, but this team will never be together again after this year. Right. And we're not promised anything. We talk about that. We're not promised anything. Look, injuries, whatever. If we didn't learn anything from COVID, we should have learned that things that we love can be taken away from us. And this team has a chance to be really special. And I'm looking forward to coaching these girls throughout the rest of their career, but I'm worried about this year. But I'm getting off track, but seeing those old players come in and want to come in the locker room, and, you know, I look over Friday and it's about 4 minutes in the game. I look over and Ryan Howard's sitting in the second seat on the bench. And I look over, I'm like, why didn't you call me? Tell me you were coming in. She didn't tell anybody. So she's in from Italy for a week, and we got a lot of stars. When I say stars, they saw a bunch of ex-players that are going to be great people, great employees, great mothers. They're going to be great citizens. And I've said before, if all they get is basketball out of this, and I've let them down. Yeah, there's a whole lot more to this than just basketball. We've got girls that come from good families, but I came from a good family. But sometimes I needed a little
Tough love.
a little tough love, or a little accountability. You know, basketball was very good to me, and that's why I'm here. But these girls they're getting to see people that came through this program that went on and are productive citizens, and that's the thing. You know, I said before, you're gonna find out what kind of coach I am. Come back 20 years later, and then I'll let you know, because I see where these girls end up.
Harmony, I know that you came in as a freshman and everybody thought, she's going to be a super good player, and you turned out to be exactly that. Coming from the middle school to high school, now you're a sophomore, so you've got a year on your belt. What's the hardest thing in that transition coming from middle school? Is it, I don't put words in your mouth, but what in your mind, boy, this wasn't as hard in middle school to me. What's something hard about being a Bearette?
Coming from middle school, it was a big transition. Probably working harder was probably the biggest transition, because we didn't really have to work that hard. when we were in middle school. So probably just working harder and just giving 100% the whole time.
Well, you're playing in an elite program now, and if you're not working hard, you probably ain't gonna be playing. Avery, that
Definitely
same question there.
defense.
Defense.
Like, it's so much more important in high school.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
So you can sort of get by in middle school without playing a lot of defense, what you're saying?
But in high school, like, you have to, or you get exposed.
Well, you've got one.
I'm learning something here, Gary. Maybe I should come in and let you ask these girls questions every week a little more. Not steal their thunder. Those answers are right on, both of them. Like, that's no knock against middle school. Guess what? As hard as we work, now I will tell you this, I think we're preparing them to go off to college. I don't think they go off to college. I've talked to girls, my own daughters, Ryan Howard's, everybody now, the grind, look, they're on the road more, they're having to go overnight. But when they leave here, they don't go out and go, man, we didn't work nothing like this in high school. They at least have a taste of it. Weight room, hard practices. We're not trying to build power lifters here. We're trying to build strong girls that can play basketball and
have stamina and all
I think
that.
what Harmony said, that's any middle schooler. If you're going to a good high school program, and when you leave here, if you go off to college, it's going to probably be a step up too. But Avery's right about defense. If you want to get on the floor for Coach Reuter, I got to trust you on which side of the ball.
Defense.
Which side?
Defense.
Defense. I might even let you by with a few mistakes on offense, but on defense, I got to be able to trust you.
Well, you're like a lot of coaches, and you've got some shooters. Hey, if you're open, you better be taking a shot if you're open and get set up. It's what Ken always says, it's not the first shot, it's the first best shot. That's what Ken's mantra always was. I'll never forget him saying that during his coaching career here. And he was pretty successful on his own,
Absolutely.
very successful, matter of fact.
I was right there with him for
Yes, you were.
12 years.
And you the one that made him successful.
I don't know.
well,
Water rolls downhill.
yeah. But it's going to be, let's get sidetracked now. Before we get sidetracked, let's talk about, we don't play until Friday. Well, what a game open. District opener at Cleveland High School, and they picked by most folks to be second to Bearettes in the district. And when you have the preseason meeting, coaches and the meeting and all that, the Bearettes will pick to win it. Cleveland's picked second, I think, in almost every ballot. But big game to open, and we need a good turnout there to support the Bearettes from the Bear Nation and the Bears.
Yeah, you got to look at the game as the favorite, but we're playing at Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very good team.
Yes, they are.
Talent.
They're unbeaten too.
Unbeaten. Playing it, I don't recall ever playing Cleveland on December the 2nd. It's just the way the new drawing came out, and you're over there. You got to play them sometime. Will they get better? Sure, we'll get better. So it's one game. It's one.
It's not going to define your season, but
We'll
it's
be.
stretching in the right direction.
Whoever loses is going to be disappointed. That's for much more than it's just the way the schedule worked out. We've got the girls were off yesterday, so we got to get ready. I have to taper that around making sure they're fresh, but we've got all the time we need, and so does Cleveland. They've been off since the 19th. They play Howard tonight. No offense to Howard, but that game will not be close. And so we both have time. So what we do with the time is what will separate. And they don't even know this. We're going to work on things like making sure you're going to be on the other end of the gym and not be able to hear me. We got to make sure our hand signals are communicating. When Harmony talked about communicating, there's a lot of communication that's not verbal, isn't there? Mm-hmm. I can look at you and communicate. Mm-hmm. One of these girls make a mistake, Avery. I can probably stare at you. Mm-hmm. You know what's going through my mind.
It does quite often.
Without saying a word. So my wife can look at me and I can say, oh, Lord. I didn't do what she told me to. So we communicate a lot. We think that's all verbal, but that's a big chunk of it. But there's a whole lot of other communication going on. And that's going to be a challenge over there with, 2,000 people in the gym. But you got to relish it and look forward to it. Would you rather be playing Cleveland Friday night or playing somebody we're going to beat by 40?
Cleveland.
Let's go play Cleveland. You got to enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. And this is a great high school. Atlanta, Cleveland, that's as good a rivalry as anywhere in the Southeast.
Yeah, sure.
Anywhere, yeah.
And that'll take place Friday night. I think we'll have a girls JV game start at 3:30 maybe.
3:30 JV girls, 4:30 boys, and then the varsity at 6, and then the girls, and then the boys at 7:30. So get your popcorn, be ready.
Well, I know you only look one game ahead, but just remind folks that the following week now we'll be home Tuesday and Friday here in district games with Howard and Oodawald leagues, the way we play them in that order. So we'll have Tuesday next Tuesday, week from tomorrow, and Friday of next week, 2 district games at home. Cleveland's will be this Friday on the road, and that's all you have up until then. But off to a good start there, Coach, and we appreciate you taking time to be today with us today. Avery and Harmony, thank you, girls. Keep doing what you're doing. Communicate, learn. That's a huge, huge part that people, just casual fan, doesn't even notice that or pay attention to that sometimes, I guess. But when you sit close to the bench like I do, when we're broadcasting, and I hear him, about anything and everything, well, I understand there's a lot of talking.
Now, the audience can't hear my voice, can they?
No, I don't think so.
I hope.
I try to muffle it if I hear you're going to, but you've never said anything
No,
that shouldn't hear anyway. But.
no. There's just sometimes the tone. I tell the girls, don't listen to my tone, listen to my
Words.
words.
Yep. The
Keep your
message.
head on a
Swivel.
And those games next week, by the way, will be televised on the Bear Network. So you can tune in and watch those. You can tune in. Those are for free as well. Mr. Winshaw and his class here at Bearettes Central will be broadcasting that. We appreciate all the work that they do because they make this show possible. Without their help, this wouldn't be happening. We appreciate the coach and the players always coming in to see us. Girls, best of luck. Let's get some wins. 1 win this week. Maybe pick up a couple next week again. And keep it rolling. The next time, this is Gary Ownbey saying so long for now. God bless and go Bearettes.